One of the places I get a lot of my houseplants from have recently introduced a mystery baby plant box in their rescue and imperfect box collection. So within this box there are baby plants. I don't know what's in there, we'll open it up and find out together, but this is a box of imperfect plants, so it just means that they have some sort of imperfection. That means they can't be sold at full price. So they put them in these boxes and you can often get some fantastic varieties at bargain prices. If you've watched any of my previous videos where I've had these mystery boxes, usually I get some great varieties, and usually they are in much larger boxes and sometimes even multiple boxes. So I actually bought two of the mystery baby plant boxes, the imperfect boxes, and it's come in this box which is much smaller than what I would usually receive. So I'm really intrigued to see what's inside. Is it going to be lots of very small plants, or are the small plants particularly special varieties or rare varieties, so there's maybe less plants but potentially rarer varieties? So let's open it up and see what's inside. So I've just taken them out of the box and it does look like there are quite a lot of little plants in there, and they are little plants. So I've got about 8 that I can see just by looking at the top there, and what's really good is they've also wrapped it in winter protection, so we've got some foil and a heat pad as it's very cold here in the UK, so it's obviously been kept warm during transit. Now please do stay tuned, as if they're not labelled I might need your help with identifying them, but also if they are new varieties or very special varieties, if you're aware of them, please do share any care tips in the comments below. So it looks like these are labelled just based on this first one anyway, and you can probably recognise this one with this distinctive heart-shaped leaf and silver veining. This is an Anthurium clarinervium, and you can see those wonderful leaves, very healthy looking plant. The only imperfection I can see is a couple of tiny holes here, maybe where it's got stuck or some damage of some sort. But other than that, it looks really good. So this is a very good start to the unboxing. And this next one is an alocasia. This one is one that I've heard of but not seen in person, and the only way I can describe it is it's like an alocasia mixed with a stinging nettle, given its texture and colour. So this is the Alocasia Jacqueline, and you can see that wonderful leaf there, and it's got really unusual stems too, almost like the zebra stripe, like the Alocasia zebrina as well. Now the only thing that I can see that might be imperfect with this is there's a bit of damage to the top of the leaf there that's coming up, but other than that the other leaves look fine. So this is a great inclusion in the box. And number 3 is another Anthurium. So if I bring this a little bit closer, this is the Anthurium magnificum, and you can see those nice long leaves there. It's got 4 leaves on the plant, and the only imperfection that I can see on this one is the smaller leaves, and the edge of this look like it's got some little holes from possibly pest damage. There's no pests on it now, which is good, but that's probably why it's been included in the box, just from that damage. But of course, as it produces new leaves, those will be replaced, so no issues there. And the next one is very small but ram-packed, so there must be lots of plants in this little pot. If I bring it a little bit closer to the camera, you'll see just how many leaves are going on there, and just from the side as well. Lots of little plants coming up within that pot, so I think I will try and separate those out if I can. This one, as you might be able to tell from the young leaves and this orange colour, these are Prince of Orange, Philodendron Prince of Orange. Again, looking at the actual health of the plant, can't see anything wrong with the leaves in terms of health or imperfections. It's just that there's so much going on in the pot, so I think maybe this one just needs a repot and some separation. And another Alocasia, a very small one. This one has much longer leaves than the other ones we've seen so far. They almost seem to be growing like they're spinning round the plant, or at least one is anyway. And this one is an Alocasia Heterophylla Dragon's Breath, or Heterophilia Dragon's Breath. Now this one, not one I've heard of before, although you can tell just by looking at the leaves it is an Alocasia. I'll bring it a little bit closer. When I first looked at it, I couldn't see anything wrong with it, not obvious anyway, but then I noticed it looks like the leaf has been damaged or cut to remove damage on this one, but then these 2 leaves seem fine, and I'm sure, as with any damaged leaves, new ones will eventually replace it. So I'll just keep an eye on this one. It looks okay as it is, bar that little bit of damage. So another new variety, lots of Alocasias added to the collection. And now back to a philodendron, and this one is one that I usually see in larger form. This one is a very, very young plant, and I can't really see much wrong with it other than a bit of damage to this very, very tiny leaf down here, but other than that the plant seems fine. So this is a philodendron gloriosum, and you can see that top leaf and the larger leaves look okay, with a new leaf in the middle coming up as well. Just that tiny bit of damage on that little leaf there. So this might need a bit of extra TLC because it is such a young plant, but other than that, this one again, really good inclusion in the box. Now this next one is an unusual one, and this one looks a little bit more worse for wear compared to some of the others that we've unboxed so far, but it could just be that this one needs to acclimatise to its new surroundings after being unboxed. Now this one looks like there's a few sort of dead stems or dead leaves in the middle, lots of green ones though. They are all closed, and I think that might be the nature of the plant though. So this is a Biophytum sensitivum. If you've got any tips to look after this, please do share them in the comments below. So what I'll do with this one is I will put this somewhere, try to keep it happy, help it acclimatise to its new surroundings, and then hopefully it will perk up in time. And now onto another philodendron. This one I'm sure you'll recognise if I bring it closer. This one is labelled as a pink princess, but looking at the markings I think it's a pink princess marble. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. And also looking at the imperfections, there's a tiny bit of damage there and a brown tip of the leaf there, but there is a new leaf on the way and these big leaves look fine. It might need potting up as it's quite big for that little pot, but generally I'd be happy to buy this if I was buying it from a shop full price, so no complaints that it's been included in the imperfect box. So as I said at the start, these boxes can be a great way to get new plants into the collection for a lot less than you would pay at full price. They just need a little bit of TLC just to bring them back to their full health and help them to thrive. Now, looking at the value of the plants that I got in the box, these are all very small plants, so I found the same size plant on the same retailer's website, and I paid £18 per box, so 1/8 per box of the baby plants, so that's £36 in total. Looking at the value of each of them individually, this one alone is £18.49 sold in this size pot when it's sold at full price, so the total value is £84.42. So I've got more than double the value of the price that I've paid for it in terms of the value of the plants. So I'm really happy with the value for money. Now I don't have enough hands to hold all 8 plants, but what did you think of the plants included in the box? Did you think they were value for money? And considering it was an imperfect box, what did you think of the quality of the plants? Let me know in the comments below. If you do like watching unboxing videos, I've got many more on the channel, and I'll link one at the end from my last unboxing, which includes some much larger plants and special varieties. So I'll link that at the end if you'd like to watch that next. If you have found this video interesting and you like plant content, consider subscribing as I'll have new videos every couple of weeks. And if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll respond to everyone. As always, thank you for watching Grow Your Wellbeing.